Hello, I'm Xiang Hui, and today I'll be doing a video on my Math Excel video on hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing. So my claim here is that on average, the length of a CS2 match is 34 minutes long. CS2 is a game. So I'm taking it from a CS2 statistics website, which collects player data and player match length. And so this is my population mean for today, which is my mu. So for my null hypothesis, the average length for a CS2 match is equal to 34 minutes. So my mu is equal to 34. And for my alternative hypothesis, the average length of a CS2 match is not 34 minutes. Therefore, my mu is not equal to 34 for my alternative hypothesis. So I will be using the two-tilt test today. So to calculate my significance level first is 5%, so 5 divided by 100 equals to 0.05. I'm taking 5% of the area of a normal distribution curve, which is 0.05. So I collected by data by playing 52 Counter-Strike games, CS2 games, and at the end of every game, I'm able to get the match length. So I'm using the count function here to count the number of cells that I filled up. So that is 52 for today. So that will be my sample size. And I use the average function over this data set to find my sample mean. So my population mean mu is taken from the website right here, and my sample standard deviation is calculated using the standard deviation.s here over this data set. I'm not using standard deviation.p because this is not my population data set. So since I do not have my population standard deviation, I will be using the t-test today. So the t-test is x bar, which is the sample mean minus population mean, all divided by the square root of s, which is all divided by square root of my variance divided by my sample size, where variance is standard deviation squared. So as you can see, I'm using the formula right here, and t-statistic simply means that how extreme your value is, or how extreme your data is. So the closer it is to 0, the less extreme it is, because it varies lesser from the population mean. So this is my p-value. P-value is the probability of getting the data set, and I'll be using tdist.2t here because I'm doing a two-tilt test and not a right-tilt test. I'm using absolute value of my t-statistic here because it's negative and I do not want it to have any negative impact onto my Excel function. And here is degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom basically means that in this case, my sample size is 52. So I have 51 degrees of freedom. So I can choose 51 different numbers, but I will know my last data using my X bar. So through some simple algebra, I'm able to figure out my 52nd term. So the first 51st terms are completely free to choose. So that is what degrees of freedom mean. So p-value is greater than my significance level here. So this is illustrated by your graph where this alpha over 2 in terms of area, so 0.025, 0.025. So my p-value, the area is greater than the alpha over 2s on both tails. Therefore, I can tell with sufficient evidence at 5% significance level that the average match length of a CS2 match is equal to 34 minutes. I'll move on to margin of error. I'll be using the confidence.t function here because I'm using t-test. And this is my alpha, my significance level, standard deviation, and my sample size. So this is my confidence interval right here, calculated using this formula, which you can use the t-distribution table from your math table over my alpha over 2, comma, my degrees of freedom, multiplied by the standard deviation divided by the root of my sample size. This shows that, we can say with 95% confidence that the actual mean is between this interval right here. Or I can also say that if I repeat this 100 times, 95% of the time, my true mean will be in this interval right here. So thank you for listening to me. Have a great day.